we unveiled a different plan with one building. Now there are like 5 buildings. What happened along the way? He's going to give us all of that information and why we got to that place.
All those questions are going to be
Secretary General
answered.
to come.
All those questions are going to be answered by the Secretary General.
People power, our power, NUP, everywhere. In Kabong, NUP, in Mbarara, here, even here. People power. Mr. President, our distinguished guests, particularly Dr. Chiza Besije, all the deputy presidents who are here today, our members of parliament, honorable members of parliament, the members of the National Executive Committee, the mayors and speakers. Because of time, I will speak very briefly and translate what I'll be saying into Luganda, and then we invite another speaker. First of all, we are here to thank God today for the far He has brought us. The journey which started in Chadondo can be seen where it has reached today. As the Bible says, do not despise the day of small beginnings. And we are 100% sure that the God who has brought us this far is going to take us until we are fully in charge of the affairs of our country so that our people get a better life. Secondly, I already told you in July last year when we were unveiling this place that first of all, it was a deliberate step. It was a deliberate step not to acquire land in Kololo, not to acquire land in Nakasero, even though we would have done it. We decided under the guidance of our president that we have been in the ghettos of Kamocha and we must look for land in another ghetto where the common people are. And that is why we decided to come here in Kavule, in Bwaise. So that is the symbolism of this place. And I'm glad that we have been able to transform this ghetto into this wonderful headquarter, which I believe is an example, not only in Uganda, but to the rest of Africa. Now, the other question, as Honorable Senyonyi said, people have been asking why we decided to build this and not that we had initially unveiled. Ladies and gentlemen, the initial plan which we unveiled on that day requires over 4 billion shillings to put into place, which is a lot of money which we do not have right now. But we decided that we should be able to use what we have to create something beautiful out of it. At the time when we unveiled this place, ladies and gentlemen, we only had 2 plots. One plot there and another one here. But like Honorable Senyonyi said, from last year, we have been able to acquire 4 more plots in this very place. That building there belongs to us. We acquired it where the office of the president is. We were able to acquire this building. And we were also able to expand on the outside. Even this very building where we are right now, when we unveiled last year, we did not have it. It was not ours. So we decided to also buy this building and used less than 10% of the money that we would have required to build the other one which we had showed to you. That is because we thought we should be frugal, but also have what we needed to get. So that is the explanation I thought I should give to you. The other point I want to make is to appreciate our president. As you all know, we have been using Kamocha as our headquarters for over 4 years, even under People Power. And that place, we have been using it free of charge. We have not been paying for the land in Kamocha, which belongs to our president. But more to that, the president has allowed us to continue using that place for NUP, for People Power. And we have decided that in Kamocha, we are going to establish the National Unity Platform School of Leadership. So that is where we shall take our trainings so that comrade leaders can be educated in leadership and other aspects. So all the other departments, finance and administration, mobilization, the election management committee, organization and party building, policy and research, legal, media and communications, training, the head office will be here, although the training will be taking place there, and then arts, culture and sports. All of those departments will be here, and now that we have unveiled this place, we shall be open full every day to serve you, to serve Ugandans. What I can say is, this is your place. You're all welcome to come and use it. In a special way, I want to appreciate some people that I've worked with over time, and those, of course, apart from the president, Chairman Nyanzi. He has been very instrumental in the work that has been going on here, giving ideas and everything else. Comrade Nubian Lee seated over there. Comrade Nubian Lee. We also have another plot of land behind the other office where we shall soon establish a studio so that the ghetto youth can come and sing revolutionary songs from that place. So you can see the office which has the biggest demand. So we should put it there very soon.
Mr. President, my fellow deputy presidents, the honorable leaders of political formation is present, particularly Dr. Kano Kiza Besije and the rest, members of Parliament present, our distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen. I'm going to make a citation. A citation I'm making is peculiar because it is a praiseworthy act in honor of our distinguished departed comrades. I greet you and welcome you all to this unprecedented event. If you look at the wall behind you or besides you, you will see drawn thereon faces of a few of the many martyrs and victims that Mr. Museveni's regime has made of the comrades with whom we started this journey. At the extreme end, just behind there, is a painting of the late Yasin Kauma. He was shot dead towards 9 p.m. on 13th October 2018 as he sat inside President Chagulanyi's vehicle that had parked outside Pacific Hotel in Arua. The shooter was a member of Mr. Museveni's military guards, commonly known as SFC. Kauma had spent that fateful day driving President Chagulanyi as he mobilized support for Honorable Kassiano Wadiri, who was contesting then in the parliamentary by-election of Arua municipality. At the time of his shooting, Kauma was seated in the exact spot where the Honorable Robert Chagulanyi Sentamu had been sitting just moments earlier as he drove him through the town. It is therefore clear that whoever took Kauma's life, and in fact intended the bullet for the Honorable Robert Chagulanyi Sentamu. Yasin Kauma was not just a driver. He was a father of 11 young children and the proprietor of a charitable organization that identified, nurtured, and looked after talented but vulnerable children. His remains lie buried in Buama, in Piji district. Next to the late Kauma, just behind there, is a painting of Comrade Kibalama Bosco, John Bosco. Kibalama John Bosco was the only child of his mother, He was abducted on 3rd June 2019 as he returned home to his family. The car in which he had been traveling was found abandoned with his phones and identity cards by the roadside towards Gayaza town. To date, we have not seen or heard from him. Now cool down and relax as I conclude the citation. The closest we have come to knowing what really happened to Kibalama was 7 months ago when the regime's Prime Minister, the Honorable Robin Anabanja, took responsibility for his abduction. She claimed that Kibalama was a hardcore criminal who had been murdering policemen. Until his abduction, Kibalama was mobilizing support for his intended bid to represent the people of Busiro North in Parliament, a constituency represented at the time by the Honorable Dennis Sozi Kalabuzi, who was also the Junior Minister for Ruero Triangle. Kibalama is also part of a long list of comrades who were abducted and have remained missing for weeks, months, and years. Some of these include 1. Semudu Michael. Semudu Michael was abducted from Kasubi on 28th of November 2020. 2. Damurila John. Damurila John was abducted from Kiseka Market on 21st December 2020. 3. Mbabazi Moses, who was abducted from Kiseka Market on 26th November 2020. 4. Narumonso Vincent, abducted from Bugorobi on 1st December 2020. 5. Lukwago Martin, abducted from Bugorobi on 3rd November 2020. 6. Kinata Mohammed, abducted from Mukono on 23rd December 2020. 7. Sempija Yuda, abducted also from Mukono on 19th December 2020. 8. Musisim Boa, abducted from Kisenyi, Kampala on 18th December 2020. 9. Kiria Peter. Kiria Peter was abducted from Nasana on 1st December 2020. 10. Wangolo Shafik. Wangolo Shafik was abducted from Nasana on 3rd December 2020. 11. Zimula Dennis, abducted from Nasana on 25th November 2020. 12. Luemba Mustafa, abducted from Nasana on 19th November 2020. 13. Mubiru Hassan, abducted from Kawala on 20th November 2020. 14. Sesazi Isma, abducted from Makindye on 19th November 2020. 15. Kisembo Godfrey. Kisembo was abducted from Mubende town on 12th February 2021. George Kasumba, abducted from Chotra on 19th January 2021. And Baguma Joseph, abducted from Chevando in December 2020. Now next to Kibalama behind there is Comrade Rita Nabukenya. Comrade Rita Nabukenya on the morning of 24th February 2020 was pursued and ran over by a police patrol truck in Nakawa as she traveled on a motorcycle. She was rushing to attend a consultation meeting organized by President Kyagulanyi at Popopo Memorial Center in Rubaga. Eyewitnesses stated that once the police officers realized Rita still alive, they reversed the truck and ran over her again until they were sure she was dead before speeding away from the scene. While this incident happened right under the watch of police CCTV cameras, the police spokesperson claimed that the particular camera was faulty that day, so they could not retrieve any footage to identify the soldiers responsible for Rita's death. Rita left behind 2 daughters, the oldest of whom is now about 10 years of age. Until her death, she was a presenter on Olujiliro TV, one of the popular online media outlets, a platform she was using to mobilize fellow women and oppressed youth to get national IDs in preparation for the 2021 presidential election. We laid her to rest in Chiwaka district on 25th February 2020. Francis Kibalama Senteza, fondly known as Frank, is the face that is painted at the extreme right, just behind there on the wall. Frank was about 26 years of age when a military police patrol truck, registration number H4DF 2382, deliberately ran over him at Busega roundabout, and the occupants on the military truck, police truck, just continued as if nothing had happened. Frank, a bodyguard to our president, was knocked dead on 27th of December 2020 as he tried to clear the way for the president's campaign team that was rushing journalist Ashraf Kasirye to hospital. Ashraf Kasirye had been shot in the head while covering President for a campaign meeting. Like many other youths disgruntled with how our country is being run, Frank had just left his job he was doing as a carpenter in Iwaise and committed his full time to the struggle. We buried him at Kiroza village in Masaka. The 4 comrades on that wall like many other disgruntled, that one I was done. The 4 comrades on that wall represent thousands of others who have in one way or another faced the wrath of Mr. Museveni's regime for identifying with President Robert Kyagulanyi Ssentamu, who is challenging his grip on power. Journalist Ashraf Kasirye and the producer Danny Magic are living examples of the many failed attempts at President Kyagulanyi's life, as both have in the past been shot with projectiles aimed at them. The plight of the victims I have mentioned here, in addition to those whose names we have not mentioned for lack of time, highlights the many risks that anybody who dares to challenge Mr. Museveni must be ready for. Mr. Museveni might consider Yasin, might consider Rita, Frank, Dani Cheyune, Hakim Sekama, and Charles Mutiable, and many other departed comrades as mere statistics in his long and winding history of political matters. But they formed an integral part of our struggle for change, and we get many challenges along the way, but the memory of these comrades keeps us going. They did not die in vain. A luta continua. I would like you to substitute the clapping with the raising up so that we observe a moment of silence for these departed comrades. I pray. And may their souls rest in eternal peace.
Your Excellency, I already have a feel for the Honorable Jolly Mujisha, who is going to speak after Honorable Nambeshi. For such a sad moment, it's not easy to speak to such a congregation, but I pray that you get the courage to speak to the people. Your Excellency, I take this moment and honor to invite Honorable Jolly Mujisha, our Deputy President for the Western Region, to speak to you.
Thank you very much. Your Excellency, the First Lady, our invited guests, our distinguished guests, members of Parliament, all the leaders and the Nook family, ladies and gentlemen, I am going to bring in a very happy moment because, as you very well know, in life we have sunshine, then the next day there is rain, and that's how life is all about. Your Excellency, dear guests, at this juncture, allow me to introduce to you our guest speaker this afternoon. Your Excellency, our guest speaker is a dedicated activist. He is a symbol of perseverance in our struggle against Mr. Museveni's dictatorship and oppression. He's vocal, he's fearless, and he's a very, very good advocate for the rule of law, democracy, human rights, and good governance in Uganda. The man in whose deviant steps we are all walking. The man who has, for the most part of his life, sacrificed his life, his wealth, his dignity, his health, and comfort to the service of our nation. The man has been arrested very, very many times and has been subjected to all manner of torture and humiliation. Ladies and gentlemen, Your Excellency, allow me to invite the epitome of the political struggle in Uganda, a dedicated nationalist, none other than the retired Dr. Kano Chiza Besije. Welcome him with a very loud shout. Ladies and gentlemen, you are welcome, Kano Dr. Chiza Besije.
Your Excellency, Mr. President, the First Lady, the Right Honorable, the Leader of Opposition in Parliament, Your Worship, the Lord Mayor of the capital city of Kampala,